In the world of NFL speculation, rumors often spiral beyond reason. One such rumor making rounds among fans and national media alike is the idea that the Chicago Bears might trade tight end Cole Kmet. But let's be clear, this rumor needs to be put to rest immediately. It might be the NFL off-season, and yes, it's normal for fans and analysts to toss around trade scenarios. But the suggestion that the Bears are even considering moving on from Cole Kmet is not grounded in reality. Every time another team shows a need at tight end, especially after moves like the Steelers acquiring Jonnu Smith, social media and message boards light up with suggestions like, "Trade Cole Kmet to Miami." These ideas are more fantasy than fact. Let's get real here. Chicago is not trading Cole Kmet. Not this season. Not before Week 1. Not while the team is aiming for a competitive leap forward in 2025. Head coach Ben Johnson, general manager Ryan Poles, and the rest of the Bears front office understand Kmet's value both on and off the field. Unless an outrageous offer comes through, something like a first-round pick, there is absolutely no incentive to make that move. Cole Kmet is not just a decent tight end. He's a foundational piece in Chicago's offensive puzzle. He recently signed a 4-year, $50 million extension. That alone signals how invested the franchise is in him. Even if teams around the league are curious, and even if armchair analysts keep creating trade packages involving Kmet, the Bears are committed to building with him, not around his absence. The root of this speculation comes from the Bears drafting rookie tight end Colston Loveland in the first round. But this draft pick should not be misinterpreted. Kmet has already addressed the situation, sharing that Ben Johnson called him immediately after the draft to explain the team's vision. Both Kmet and Loveland are expected to be part of a dynamic tight end duo. Kmet said himself, "I'm excited to not only push him, but for him to push me. We're going to make each other better." This wasn't a draft pick made with the intention of replacing Kmet. It was a strategic move to enhance the offense, deepen the playbook, and align the team's personnel with Ben Johnson's scheme. Teams that plan long-term understand how valuable a tight end tandem can be, especially when developing a rookie quarterback like Caleb Williams. The NFL is a league built on layers of strategy. One layer is personnel development, and another is fostering chemistry. Kmet has already proven himself as a consistent performer and leader. Loveland, while promising, is still a rookie recovering from shoulder surgery. Kmet offers stability and mentorship, which no rookie can provide to himself. The idea of subtracting that kind of presence before Loveland has even played a snap? Illogical, at best. And then there's timing. This isn't a rebuild year. The Bears aren't tearing things down. They're building toward playoff contention. Removing a proven, well-paid, and deeply integrated player like Cole Kmet from the equation right now would be akin to pulling a cornerstone from a foundation mid-construction. It simply doesn't fit the narrative of a team on the rise. To understand why the Bears have no interest in moving Cole Kmet, you must first understand Ben Johnson's vision for the offense. Johnson, the newly hired offensive mastermind who helped make Detroit's offense one of the most creative in the NFL, thrives on creating mismatches. And one of his favorite tools for doing that? The 12 personnel package. For the uninitiated, 12 personnel means an offensive formation featuring 2 tight ends, 2 wide receivers, and 1 running back. It offers balance. It keeps defenses guessing. It forces opponents to decide whether to stay in base defense or shift into nickel packages. When executed well, it creates nightmare matchups for linebackers and safeties. Ben Johnson used this personnel grouping over 32% of the time last season with the Detroit Lions, 3rd most in the NFL. And keep in mind, Detroit did that without a star-studded tight end room. Now imagine what he could do with Cole Kmet and Colton Loveland. Kmet brings reliability, toughness, and experience. He's a dependable blocker, an improving route runner, and a red zone weapon. Loveland, on the other hand, brings raw athleticism and potential. Together, they could form a pairing that not only confuses defenses, but also empowers the Bears' offense to stretch the field in ways it never could before. Let's pause here for a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this breakdown and want exclusive updates, breaking news, and detailed Bears analysis, this is the place to be. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and hit that bell icon so you're always in the loop. We bring you new Bears content daily. Now back to the breakdown. Kmet and Loveland are not competitors in the traditional sense. They're complementary assets. Even Kmet himself acknowledged the potential when speaking to the media. The goal is to become the best 12 personnel tandem in the league. But there's another layer. Loveland hasn't practiced yet. He's still rehabbing from shoulder surgery. Ben Johnson said they're hopeful he'll be ready for training camp. Even if he is, he'll need time. Tight end is one of the toughest offensive positions to learn in the NFL. Tight ends must block like linemen and run routes like receivers. They must learn the entire offensive system. It's one of the few positions where rookies often struggle to contribute immediately. Even when Loveland does step onto the field, he'll benefit immensely from learning alongside someone like Kmet. The communication, timing, and synergy required between tight ends and 12 personnel cannot be built overnight. It requires reps, leadership, and patience. Kmet brings all of that. Depth at the position? Let's not kid ourselves. Beyond Kmet and Loveland, the tight end room is serviceable at best. Durham Smythe is a blocking-first tight end with limited upside. Joel Wilson and Stephen Carlson are developmental players. This group is top-heavy. Removing Kmet tips the balance entirely in the wrong direction. There's one point that fans and pundits must remember. The 2025 Chicago Bears are not in rebuild mode. This is a team stepping into a new era of competitiveness. With a generational rookie quarterback in Caleb Williams, a respected head coach in Shane Waldron, and an improved roster across the board, this franchise has its eyes on the postseason. This is year 4 for general manager Ryan Poles. Expectations are higher than ever. While most new head coaches get a grace period, that won't be the case in Chicago. The Bears want to compete now. They're not building toward 2027. They're building toward Week 1. Trading away a top 10 player like Cole Kmet in this climate sends the wrong message. It disrupts offensive chemistry. It weakens an already thin position. It limits the tools Caleb Williams will have at his disposal in his rookie season. Of course, we've all heard the phrase, everyone has a price. And yes, if a team were to offer a first-round pick, the Bears would have to consider it. But the likelihood of that happening is almost non-existent. The realistic offers that could come in, a third- or fourth-round pick, simply aren't worth the downgrade. Furthermore, let's say you do move Kmet. Who steps up? Loveland, a rookie who hasn't practiced. Smythe, a career backup. Wilson, who's unproven. That scenario doesn't just downgrade the position. It invites chaos into an offense that's trying to establish rhythm and trust. And don't overlook the mentorship aspect. Caleb Williams is already expected to carry a huge burden as a rookie quarterback. Surrounding him with veteran talent like Kmet, who can lead on and off the field, is one of the best things the Bears can do to ease his transition into the NFL. Remove Kmet, and you remove a safety valve, a vocal leader, and a locker room asset. Some have floated the idea of trading Kmet for a defensive piece like Trey Hendrickson. But again, the Bengals would need to want Kmet, and be willing to part with a star edge rusher. That's a long shot. More importantly, it's a risky reshuffling of assets that could do more harm than good. In short, trading Kmet now doesn't align with any of the Bears' goals. If Loveland has a breakout year, and the team feels ready to transition in 2026, maybe that conversation becomes relevant. But in 2025, it's not just unlikely, it's counterproductive. So, Bears fans, we're leaving you with this thought. If you truly believe this team is ready to take the next step, then you must understand why keeping Cole Kmet is part of that path forward. Would you trade him under any circumstance this year? Drop your thoughts in the comments with a T for trade or a K for keep. And remember to subscribe so you never miss a beat on your Chicago Bears. Thanks for being with us. We'll see you in the next update. Until then, bear down